On his first full day in Canada, Pope Francis delivered a historic apology for the, quote, evil committed by so many Christians against Indigenous people. His week-long trip centers around his response to the treatment of Indigenous children at government-funded schools, the majority ran by Catholics, from the 1800s to the 1900s. Chris Livesay is traveling with the Pope.
At the site of a former residential school in the Canadian city of Massachusets, Pope Francis was greeted with sacred drumming and dance, rituals the church once sought to erase. It was here the Pope issued a historic apology to a crowd of thousands, most of them Indigenous people.
I am here because the first step of my penitential pilgrimage among you is that of again asking forgiveness.
That apology was met with applause from the crowd, as was this request.
I ask forgiveness.
People were visibly emotional, wiping their tears. The Pope was given a traditional headdress to wear after his remarks. The Pope began the day visiting what is believed to be a graveyard for some of the children who never made it home. For around a century, more than 150,000 Native children were taken from their families to attend government-funded residential schools, most of them run by the Catholic Church. They faced rampant neglect, physical and sexual abuse while being forced to assimilate. Richard Green spent 9 years in a residential school. His parents had also been forced to attend.
An apology won't erase anything. The experience already happened.
The Catholic Church was invested in cultural genocide.
Historian Candida Moss is a professor of theology.
What Pope Francis hasn't done so far is he hasn't admitted that the Catholic Church has a sort of systemic role in the way that Indigenous people have been treated in Canada and in the cultural genocide that took place in these institutions of education.
For CBS Mornings, Chris Livesay, Edmonton, Canada.